that weather update just in, and we're switching chairs a little bit over here, but that's because we are welcoming a children's book author from Jackson. Everybody, let's give a warm welcome to Sierra Carter right here in Studio 10. How are you?
I'm good.
It is so great to have you, and I know it's not the first time that you've been here, and it's because you have an incredible series. But the newest book, The Magic Treehouse, that you wrote, tell us a little bit about it.
So The Magic Treehouse is sort of a perspective that my daughters and I have of my son who passed away 7 years ago. And so there's a lot of really special little pieces in there of things that we have said or thought over the years of where we think Carter is now, you know, in heaven. So we refer to that as the Magic Treehouse.
I love that. The Magic Treehouse is where Carter is right now. That is so beautiful. And I love that you and your daughters together put this story together. I love that. So tell me a little bit about Carter's legacy.
So Carter was a bright, shining star. You know, to know Carter was to love Carter. He was always happy, always smiling. He was just a light. So I try to really put that into each one of my books.
Yeah, and I see that. I read through The Magic Treehouse this morning, and I think it is such an incredible story, and it sparks a really incredible conversation. I think sometimes we don't want to bring up those who have passed, but this is a perfect way to honor them and to write about their legacy. And one of the biggest things that I love is that you really incorporate family into the characters, into the setting, into the home. So can you tell me a little bit more about what Carter's relationship was with his family, with you and with his sisters too?
He loved his family, and so I always like to say that everywhere we are in our life, I feel like he's sort of guiding us and directing us, protecting us, cheering for us from afar. And so I really put that into that book to help kids see that although we can't see them and we can't talk to them anymore, they're still there, you know. So I tried to put it into this story that's, you know, very catchy for kids, and they can feel that.
I love that. And now I know there's a lot of other children and a lot of other families who are in that same position as you. And how else did you want them to see themselves in Carter, and what's their response been? I know you've gone to a lot of different schools and you've been able to share his story with other children. So what are some of the things that they've been telling you?
So the kids seem to love it, and we get a lot of questions, difficult questions when I read these stories to kids, you know, with true curiosity, and kids are so beautiful. A lot of times they just want to understand why a situation or a person is different from them. So I love being able to open that conversation and answer those difficult questions.
Now, you brought up that point that some people are a little bit different from us. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So Carter was in a wheelchair. He was nonverbal. He was feeding tube fed, so very much different from what a lot of kids see in their homes every day or out in the community. So I think it's so important that kids see it and they learn about it and they're able to ask those difficult questions.
Yeah, and it's great that they're able to start those conversations. I think a lot of times we try to shy people away from those difficult conversations, but you're showing us that, hey, it's okay to talk about it. I love that. Now, I also want to ask you, what was that aha moment that prompted you to not just write one book, but to say, hey, we're going to take a story and make a whole series out of it?
Yeah. So through Carter's life, and especially the hospice care part of his life, there just aren't a lot of books out there that are transparent and talk about some of these difficult topics. And so about 2 years ago, I woke up one day and I thought, you know what? Why not be that change? Why not do that? And I decided to write a book, and 6 months later published Meet Carter.
I love that. This is amazing. Well, Sierra, I have to ask you one last thing. Is there any one line? I read through the book this morning and I loved it. I can't wait to read it again and gift it to my nieces and my nephew this year for Christmas. So you guys make sure you put this on your Christmas list. But is there any one line here in the book that really resonates with you that you want to share with our viewers?
So it kind of, you know, stands for what I'm here for today, talking about him. So I love the part where it says, when he is near, she feels his peaceful presence and love. When she feels doubtful or uncertain, his special magic nudges let her know that she's doing all the right things.
That is so beautiful. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Sierra, for just sharing this series and sharing Carter's story with us. We have information right here on your screen on how you guys can get your hands on the Magic Treehouse and more books right here in the Carter series. Well, thank you so much, Sierra.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, coming up